Hi, second grade readers. Hope you had a great weekend. Mr. Hagan here for the reading lesson. Today I want to teach you that readers compare and contrast different versions of the same story.
Because folklore is told over and over again through many generations, we oftentimes have many versions of the same story. Here you can see we have many versions, 12, of Cinderella just at the ISB library. And some are from different countries, some have different characters. I made a list of 3 different stories for you, and on each list are many different versions. And I picked 3 really popular folklore stories, fairy tales, Little Red Riding Hood, The 3 Little Pigs, and Cinderella. So I have many versions in this document. To get to this document, you need to point your device to this QR code. At the end of this video, the QR code will pop up again. You'll also get to read on Epic Books. If you type in Little Red Riding Hood to Epic Books, you're going to see that there's many versions that you can read yourself. Consider reading one on Epic Books and then watching one from the list that I shared. You'll notice that if you type in the 3 Little Pigs, there's also many versions. Here's what it looks like if you type in Cinderella. Compare and contrast means think about what's the same and think about what's different. So I picked 2 different versions of Cinderella to share with you. One is Prince Cinders, where the main character is a boy, and then Cinderella Penguin, where the main characters are all penguins. So the way a double bubble map works is you have your 2 ideas that you're comparing and contrasting. And on one side, you're going to write down all of the things that just fit with one idea. So over here, I did mine color coded. Maybe you're going to do yours like that too. All the things that are true just about Prince Cinders, I did in yellow. So the main character is a boy, the main characters are humans. He has brothers instead of stepsisters. They're his real brothers in this story. The fairy in this story makes a mistake, actually turns him into a monster. He takes a car to the disco instead of a carriage to the palace. And he doesn't lose a shoe, he actually loses his pants. So that's how this version is different. Over here for the Cinder Penguin side, the main character is a girl. She's not a human, she's a penguin. She has stepsisters, just like the original version. The fairy in this story actually does everything correctly. She takes a carriage to the palace and then loses a flipper instead of a slipper. Okay. Then when you mix yellow and blue together, you get green. So all the things that the stories had in common, I put in green here. So both of the characters in these versions get help from fairies. Both of them have mean siblings. Both of them have to do work for their siblings. Both of them, at the end, have royalty, a prince or princess searching for the main character. Both of them have some item of clothing that's missing that fits to help them figure out that they're the ones royalty is looking for. And they both get married in the end and live happily ever after. So this is what we call a double bubble map, and you're going to be making one today. What should you do today? Okay, first, read or watch 2 versions of the same story. So our recommendation to you is read one, maybe the original or a classic version on Epic Books. You don't have to do the 3 stories I picked, but if you're having a hard time finding 2 versions of the same story, pick from the 3 that I made the menu for. So that's what you're going to do first, read or watch 2 versions of the same story. Then do some thinking about what's the same and what's different in the stories. Last, you need to create a double bubble map. And I'm going to talk about 3 different ways. The easiest way is just to use colored pencil, marker, or pen or on paper. And maybe you want a large piece of paper. This is what a double bubble map looks like. So this is a model for you. If you want to try something a little bit more difficult, see if you can do it on Seesaw. This would take a lot more time. You would have to use the text tool. If you have a stylus, you could use a stylus. If you wanted to take pictures and add them, you could from the book. Okay. For those of you that have ever used the app called Poplet, this would be a great time to build a double bubble Poplet. And some of you might have used this app and some of you might not have. If you've never used the app, just make it easy on yourself and use Seesaw or just paper. If you do know how to use the app, you can use colors, images, the text tool, and then when you're done, you're going to export it as an image to your device and then share it in the activity on Seesaw. So no matter how you decide to make your double bubble map, we want you to remember, first of all, that a double bubble map is a thinking map that shows how we can compare two things, what they have in common, and then what's different about them. And you may choose to color code yours. Okay. On the next slide, you can pause it and get a screenshot of the QR code or point your device that you want to watch one of the stories on at the QR code on the screen to get to the list. Enjoy, readers. We can't wait to see your double bubble maps. Readers, one last reminder, share your double bubble map in the activity called Compare and Contrast Stories inside Seesaw.